Hello, everybody. This is Andy Schwartzentruber, and I have reviewed Joint Review Committee on Education and Radiologic Technology for my standards project. This is the accrediting body for most radiologic technology programs. It's a very important accrediting body because students that graduate from an accredited program will more likely get hired because employers are looking for technologists that have graduated from an accrediting program. So JCERT is the number one accrediting body across the country, and it's extremely important to me because ETSU program for radiologic science is an accredited program by JCERT. However, uh, most programs in radiologic technology are taught on ground. However, I do want to bring your attention to JCERT's core values and this specific value right here that encourages educational innovation. JCERT has just recently, within the past several years, started to develop standards for computer innovation, technology innovation, and distance learning. It's all wrapped up into distance learning standards, and those are some of the innovations that uh, JCERT has started to develop. And that's what I'm going to focus the standards presentation on the next few slides. As you can see, the distance education standard number one is the protection for the students. JCERT wants to make sure that if the student is using distance education, that it's secure. There's secure passwords, passcodes, secure logins. They want to make sure the technology is not going to put the patient in any sort of bad situation to where they cannot protect themselves. Standard 2 really gets more into the specific for the administrative support. As you can see, some of the standards that they want to see happen are the appropriate technology. For example, computers, appropriate online learning environments, D2L would be an example, and then technology support. If D2L were to go down or there's an issue with, say, a student's computer, they have the appropriate support to uh, to call on to get that fixed. But not only do they stop at technical support, but they also discuss faculty in this specific standard. They want to make sure that the faculty is trained for distance education, teaching methods, learning methods, different ways of getting the content to the student. They also want to make sure that there is an educational program training to enhance their distance education learning. That way, the students that are on the other end of the computer can continue to learn in an effective fashion. Uh, this standard three has to do with the curriculum practices. They want to make sure that the technology is effective in the learning objectives. A big issue here is the clarity on your monitor for the curriculum. Radiologic technologists, we look at a lot of x-rays, a lot of different anatomy images, and they want to make sure that if that student is sitting 5, 6, 700 miles away looking at a lecture, say that I have created for a chest x-ray, they want to make sure that the appropriate technology is right there to show that this is what the curriculum, this is what we're looking at, and this is the anatomy that you need to know. But it's also they want to evaluate the faculty to the technology that is being delivered to the student. Standard 5 is basic data. They want to take the data from the traditional online education and the distance learning and compare them to make sure that the student is successful. Standard 6 is, again, it's a requirement that the faculty is qualified for distance education, as at this time they do not have a specific standard of what qualifies for distance education. Currently, on your on-site visit, you will have to prove that the distance education is being successful and that the faculty are competent in using the technology for the distance education teaching methods currently. So to wrap all this up, and I know I'm going a little long, But this is kind of the conclusion that the JRC or JCERT is not necessarily focused on the specific technology, but they're focused on student success with the technology. They want to make sure the student is secure. They want highly trained faculty, um, IT support. They want quality technology to be able to relay the information that we're trying to get to them via computer, WebEx, anything like that. The final quote, I'll read it: when implementing distance education or or a new instructional technology or teaching method, educators are required to maintain quality of the program. So JCERT is very big on quality of the program by using technology. I found this very interesting because it really hits to where I'm going to teach, because we are actually up for our site visit uh, next year. So this is really going to come to light next year when I get to go through our site visit. This is my reference slide that I used. If you would all like to take a look at those, feel free to take a look. They're very new. One is in an article, the other one is actually a kind of a standard sheet. But I appreciate you listening, and have a great evening. Thank you very much.